Yeah, let's get it. Superfoods, baby. Let's get into the one you're probably not eating, cause no one eats it. Boom. Voila. Cue the intro. Ciao ragazzi! What's up, guys? How is everybody doing today? I felt very impelled to make this video because this is certainly something I wish I would have known when, starting to learn more about my health, starting to care more about what I'm putting in and onto my body, how that affects my biochemistry, and then how my biochemistry affects my emotions, my ability to connect with people, my ability to think, my ability to tap into my intuition, all these different things that make a human a human. I felt as though I would have wanted to been eating this one superfood. Before I get into this, I think I need to, just say I'm not a doctor, I'm not any special expert or anything, I'm just a light worker to help create a certain level of increased awareness on this planet. Now, let us begin. So, the superfood that I'm talking to is, wait for it, organ meats. Specifically though, liver. Liver is the superfood that no one is eating and is your freaking multivitamin. I'm not telling you to eat it every day. You probably wouldn't be eating it every day or in, larger amounts. Let's say if you were hunting your own food, the organ meat / liver yield compared to the muscle meat is much smaller. So in that case, I'm not telling you to eat this every day, maybe just a couple servings once or twice a week. But let me get into why this is a superfood and why it would be beneficial to incorporate it. Besides the fact as, it's a little wasteful to just throw out the organs and only eat the muscle meats when the organs have so much nutrition, and generally, any animal that goes and hunts, carnivorous animal that goes and hunts their prey, the organ meats are generally one of the first things they eat because it has more nutrition. Now, let me begin. First, the amount of vitamin A content. I think this is huge and really underlooked, and I specifically underlooked this because I didn't know of this, and that the bioavailability of the vitamin A. What do I mean by this? So essentially, our liver uses vitamin A for certain functions, enzymatic processes within the body. However, when you eat the plant form of vitamin A, so like carotenes, carotenoids, like beta carotene that can be found in sweet potatoes, your body actually has to convert that into the form that the liver uses, which is retinol. Now, what they don't tell you, let's say if you go onto the daily percentage, the RDA for how much you need per day, the international units, they don't tell you how much of that is actually needed for the retinol, in a sense, how much actually goes into retinol. However, you can find this out on Chronometer. Chronometer is essentially just a nutritional website where you can type in, let's say, a serving of food and look at the nutritional profile of it. Granted that it's like a common food that's eaten, you can see all the nutrients in them. Generally, it depends though. But I just wanted to bring this up real quick because people like the stats. So for example, 1 serving of liver, so 3 ounces of liver, has approximately 540% of your daily vitamin A needs. All of that, pretty much all of that, there's 8,030, I believe, 8,030 micrograms that is used by the liver. Now if we go on the flip side, we can look at the, let's say, sweet potato. A serving of sweet potato that's like 4 ounces. If you look at that, that has approximately, I think it's 310% of one's recommended daily allowance of vitamin A. But when you look at it, the body only uses, I believe, around 300 micrograms. Scratch that, 780 micrograms of retinol, the bioavailable form. Now, that is a big skew. 8,300 micrograms compared to 780, that's a pretty big skew. So that's what you need to see within, how much of that is actually being converted. Again, but if you want to look deeper into this, look at certain foods, I would suggest going on to Chronometer. Number 2, contrary to popular belief, is that liver has high cholesterol. So you're probably wondering, why the hell is this little kid telling me to get high cholesterol? Cholesterol is really bad for you. You're gonna get heart disease, get all kinds of clogged arteries, and I'm gonna die. Now, that is not the case. Our body needs cholesterol for proper health. The body, the liver just makes its own cholesterol on its own. And I just want to mention, the reason why I keep mentioning the liver is, if you notice, eating liver generally tends to be good for your liver. There's different examples of these in nature. People say that eating walnuts is good for your brain, and that eating celery is good for a heart-on, and beets are good for blood flow. I just like to point that out just to see that this life isn't just a little coincidence, and that all things do happen for a reason. Going back onto the high cholesterol though, what's significant about that is that cholesterol is a precursor to our hormones, specifically sex hormones. So sex hormones as well as stress hormones like cortisol. So if you're someone that's always constantly stressed and you're not getting enough cholesterol, your body is going to start not prioritizing making sex hormones and going to focus on making the stress hormones, which is generally why a good amount of people that go on a vegan diet or even vegetarian diet, they can lose sex drive. Or let's say someone that's always constantly stressed, or you add both things on top. There's decreased sex drive due to a lack of sex hormone production due to a lack of cholesterol. Last thing, which number 3, I don't like to emphasize as much. However, I think it is important to mention, and it is a big deal for a lot of people, is that organ meats are cheap because the United States, and I don't know if Canada's the same way, is that they do not use the organ meats. They throw them out because they taste nasty to people. They're fucking pine them out the goddamn taste. Like, the amount of nutrition, but also how wasteful it is just to throw away, not use these organ meats, is ridiculous. So I can go to Whole Foods right now, get a pound of liver for $2.99. Compared to, let's say, I wanted to get another common superfood, wild Alaskan sockeye salmon. That can go up to a minimum $13 a pound, up to sometimes $20. If it's like a special one, seasonal something, it could be up to, I've seen it $50 before. That is crazy. Liver and some of these other organs ain't that expensive, and they're nutritious, and it's not wasteful. That's something very important to, recognize when you're eating, is that the environmental impact that you are leaving within these, the way in which you're consuming foods. Yeah, if this is gonna be your first time, cooking liver or getting liver, look up some recipes with butter and caramelized onions and whatnot, and that'll be your first time having it. And if you do it based on this video, leave a comment. But what I'll do to, try to have this first time experience with you guys is I'll go out and get some raw liver and eat it on camera for you guys. I'll leave that for the end of the video if you're still watching. And yeah, that's about that. Again, I've probably rambled a little longer than I needed to for this. But that's my spiel. Get your liver in you a couple times a week, you know, 1 to 2 times, few serving. Try to get around, what, a total of 3 to 5 servings a week. See how your body feels, reacts, how it reacts, you know. But yeah, you know, that's about it. Just do life how it is. I'm trying to work on getting these gains back that I had since this back injury. But that's so okay. Watch the video. Goodbye, guys. Toodles. So without further ado, let's begin. Just to reiterate again, I'm not a doctor or expert or anything. I'm a light worker. Let's get it. If the camera just gets a little close, you can clearly see that this bad boy is not cooked. You got all the little bloody gooey nutrients in here. But yeah, this right here is your multivitamin. This right here is your multivitamin. Get a little, cut this bad boy in half, and see how it tastes in the mouth. Cheers. Would it be weird if I said it had no taste? As we can clearly see next to it, we have the not raw, non-meat, the fried plantains. I haven't had these. This is like my second time having them, but yeah, I'm not gonna do a whole video on me just eating raw liver. I think that'd be called a mukbang. That's not gonna be doing that, but take one last bite for you guys, and you guys can go out to the store and get yourself some liver. You can also do chicken livers. I mean, if you get a good butcher, I think they have like duck livers and goose livers that are supposed to taste pretty good, more palatable, as they'd say. Or if you just really can't do it at all, one good thing, I got cans of them. They're cod livers, super nutritious too, and you get a good amount of omega-3s. Again, you know, in the wild, like, if a wolf gets its prey, I'm not saying we're wolves, but that's the first thing they usually eat, is the organs, the liver, spleen. And again, I said, we're not wolves, but it's saying something, you know, that there's higher priority in organ meats than muscle meat in terms of nutrition. So that's about it, though. Hope this video turned you on, and by all means, have a good one.